All right, class, welcome to Social Studies. We are still taking a look at maps, but we are going to be focused on location. Yesterday, we took a look at what types of maps, what are the main types of maps that we will look at, and how do you read a map? Meaning, hopefully you remember, you look at two things. What are they? Number one, read the title, the title's right there, and then take a look at the map key. Well, today, again, is location. There are two types of location. There's relative location, and that's what we're going to focus on in part one, which this is part one right now, relative location. In part two, in the part two video, we're going to take a look at absolute location. So relative location, absolute location. Well, what are they? Well, relative location, if I said, what's the relative location of a country? You would tell me everything around that country, but not specifically tell me where that country is located. If we were talking about absolute location, you would tell me specifically where a country is located, and you do that using longitude and latitude. Easier way, if you want an example, think of your house. If I said, give me the relative location of your house, well, you could tell me, well, my house is located across the street from that yellow house over there, and my house is to the right of the blue house. And my house is to the left of the greenhouse over there. And there's a huge oak tree in the front yard. Okay, that's relative location. You didn't actually tell me specifically where your house is located. You told me everything around your house. And that would give me an idea if I were driving through your neighborhood and went, okay, I see that yellow house across the street. There's this blue house. There's this greenhouse. There's that huge oak tree. That must be so-and-so's house. That's relative location. Absolute location would be telling me specifically where your house is located. So you say, well, my house is located at 2121 Drury Lane. You just gave me the specific address. I just know to find that address, and there's the specific location of your house. So those are the two types of location. Relative location is what we're focused on today. So let's take a look at a map of Europe. And again, we're using the Europe map because that's our first major unit. So if we take a look at our map here, you notice we have the same thing. I'm going to go ahead, I think I'm going to pick this up in a second, but we're going to focus on Germany for relative location as our example. So let's pick this up. We're going to go ahead and move this right here. We're going to try to keep the camera steady. You all should be able to see Germany. First of all, Germany, you know that even if you've never heard of Germany before, you should recognize a country that is in all capital letters. That's the word Germany right there, okay? Now, if you want to take a look, let's see if we can straighten this a little bit. Wrong way. There we go. A little bit better. So if we're taking a look at Germany, and I said, what's the relative location of Germany? Well, I want to know everything that is around Germany. Now, if you notice, Germany has a lot of countries that border it. So to make it easier for us, when I say relative location, I want to know, all right, give me 4 borders, and they can be any combination of countries or physical features. So if I said, what is the relative location of Germany? Well, you could say, okay, Mr. McGee, well, Germany is bordered to the north by the North Sea and to the north by Denmark. Germany is also bordered to the east by Poland, and Germany is bordered to the west by France. Well, I just gave you 4 borders. Anybody who heard that would be able to tell where Germany is located based on that description. Germany is bordered to the north by the North Sea and Denmark, it's bordered to the east by Poland, and it's bordered to the west by France. Now, I just used 4 borders, and you notice the North Sea is a physical feature. You can use those as well. Now, because it's relative location, I need things that are around Germany. Now, one mistake that students make is they'll ignore, you need things around a country, you need countries or physical features around a country, and instead, they'll just pick out cities. And you always recognize cities because cities have the first letter capitalized and the rest are lowercase. Guys, if we want to know what's around if we want to know what's around a country, we can't use cities in the country. So this would be wrong if you told me, the relative location of Germany. Germany is bordered by Berlin, Frankfurt, and then gave me a couple more. Well, no. I can't count Berlin and Frankfurt. They're inside Germany. I want to know what's around Germany. Being inside is not going to help me to know what's around it, okay? So never use cities, even cities in different countries. Use the countries and use the physical features when we talk about borders. And you need to be able to tell me where those borders are located. So again, you notice how I said, I didn't say Germany is bordered by the North Sea and Denmark, Poland, and France. I said, oh, Germany is bordered to the north by the North Sea and Denmark, bordered to the east by Poland, and bordered to the west by France. That should make sense. Now, if you're thinking, I tend to mix up my directions with north, south, east, and west, well, there is a very easy way to remember that. So, we're going to take a look at this whiteboard over here. Let's move this cord. This cord, unfortunately, Mr. McGee got a nice webcam, but it's not wireless. So, unfortunately, if I'm not right, if I don't do things right, this thing ends up falling out of my hands. So that's why I'm trying to do this very carefully. I'm also going to take down this platform to make it easier for us. So, platform down. Let's take a look here. Hey guys, hopefully you're not dizzy by now. So if we take a look, here's my little whiteboard. Now, if you are not sure, oh man, how on earth do I remember north, south, east, and west? Let's take a look. So immediately I would take out a piece of paper, and so this is going to be representative of my paper. I draw. Now, Mr. McGee is a terrible artist, so we'll have to pretend that those are both straight lines. So once I draw my cross, this is going to be my compass rose, because I want to know the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. So once we do that, if you can't remember, well, how do I put this? Always remember this. Never eat soggy waffles. I mean, unless they're soggy because there's lots of delicious maple syrup. But that's completely different. So, never eat soggy waffles. North, east, south, west. So if you're forgetting directions, I would take a sheet of paper, draw that compass rose on your paper, and then put that paper on the map when you're doing your assignment for today. That way you can remember, oh, which direction is east, which direction is west, which direction is north, which direction is south. Got it? And think about it, since this is on video, you can always freeze frame this if you need to. Now we're going to go ahead. By the way, this is my professional platform. I'm going to stick up right here. I'm 6'1", so I kind of need something a little bit tall, or else I'm looking down. Probably that last YouTube video from yesterday had my head cut off, the top of my head a lot. So we're trying to make a few adjustments. And by the way, guys, I appreciate the fact that you're putting up with this, because you know I don't have time to edit and make this all professional. I hope one day that I can actually put a lot of computer graphics and motion graphics and animation on this, but for now, this is going to be live, technically, because obviously you're watching the recording. So this is going to be in person, so if we make mistakes, life is tough. Now, for you guys, here's your assignment for relative location. I want you, there's going to be 5 countries. Actually, before we do that, one more thing. This will help us. You probably noticed the United Kingdom right here. And it looks like, oh, the United Kingdom is just one huge country. Technically, no. Not really. Think about it. United Kingdom, well, 4 countries have been united together to make up one kingdom, and yet there are different powers that these countries have where they get to kind of rule themselves a little bit, and then there are certain things in which they have to be one. There's a lot of contention and debate with that, but I want you to know that because I'm going to start throwing some of those countries, those names of those countries at you throughout our Europe unit, so you need to know them. So this is a political map, and by the way, thank you to mapsoftheworld.com, because we do have to do fair use. Thanks to mapsoftheworld.com for this map. This is fantastic, as well as worldatlas.com, which is a great place for maps as well. And no, by the way, I'm a teacher in a public school, so I'm not getting paid to say that. It's just fair use, because you want to give credit where credit is due to the people who supply maps. Oh, let's take a look here. You guys should actually be able to see this, so I'm going to leave that there. the United Kingdom is made up of 4 countries. England. England is the country that we all know about. Well, that's why we speak English today. So England. But you also have the country of Scotland, the country of Northern Ireland, and the country of Wales. Together, these 4 countries make up the United Kingdom. Now, see Ireland over here? Ireland is not a part of the United Kingdom. Do not say that Ireland is part of the United Kingdom. That will really offend them. There's a lot of history right there. Ireland is its own separate country. But the United Kingdom is made up of 4 countries together. Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. So if I say, hey, I need you to find the relative location for Northern Ireland, then you actually know, oh, okay, that's part of the United Kingdom, and you can find a map. You should be able to find any map. I would suggest Cetera online. So Cetera, SETERRA, great resource. You can also go to worldatlas.com or britannica.com. Those are also really great sites as well. So let's go back. You have 5 countries to find. You have 5 countries. You need to find the relative location for those 5 countries. Remember, I need 4 borders. Unless a country just doesn't have 4 borders when you combine countries and physical features, I need 4. By the way, I'll give you an example. So look here. See Portugal? Portugal, there we go. Portugal, if I said what's the relative location of Portugal, the relative location of Portugal is pretty much Spain and the Atlantic Ocean. Well, in that case, you could use 2 borders because that's all there is. But if I ask, hey, what's the relative location of the Czech Republic, I better get more than 2 borders, considering where the Czech Republic is located. And again, you need to tell me the direction. So if I said, what's the relative location of the Czech Republic, you need to tell me, oh, the Czech Republic is bordered to the north and west by Germany, to the north and east by Poland, to the south by Austria, and to the south by Slovakia. All right? So that's why you need to remember those directions. So let's do this. And Mr. McGee, you guys can't see the clock, but Mr. McGee is trying to beat the bell ringing because the kids are about to get on the bus. This is when I recorded it, by the way. All right, so your 5 countries that you need to find the relative location for, all right? Number 1, Sweden. Number 2, Northern Ireland. So remember, find that map of the UK where you can actually see the 4 countries. So number 1, Sweden. Number 2, Northern Ireland. Number 3, Ukraine. Number 4, France. Number 5, Italy. So remember, number 1, Sweden. Number 2, Northern Ireland. Number 3, Ukraine. Number 4, France. Number 5, Italy. You're going to give me the relative location of all 5 of those countries, and that is what you are going to submit as your first assignment. All right, guys? If you have any questions, again, if you notice, your parents should have gotten an email. Wednesday, Thursday is when the social studies lessons are. And also, I think it's social studies and language arts. Don't quote me on that. Look at your email. But definitely social studies is Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday is when I will have the conference open. So if any of you guys have any questions or there's something you need to tell me or whatnot about this assignment, let me know. Okay? Also, because digital learning days, I realize some people don't have PowerPoint. If I do a document that's a PowerPoint, I will also give you a PDF as well. So a PDF file is a lot easier to open sometimes than the PowerPoint because it's not with Microsoft. So we'll do it that way. If you can't open one of those files, I'll try to do it the other way. Okay? So again, 5 countries, relative location. Do that, type that up, make sure you tell me the direction where that thing that borders the country is located. Like, is it to the east, north, south, west? Do that, type it up, make sure it's in sentence form, and then submit that for a grade. All right, take care, guys.